Hey everyone, this is Ian with the K Grant Group. Today we're going to be covering the September through October property stat update for the Phoenix metro area. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. So looking at total available inventory, this includes both homes and condos and townhomes if you want to separate them out that way. The total inventory available was 11,701. Now remember, this is also September data, so we have about a month lag, and we'll go into a little bit more real availability later in the video. But we're looking at a month-over-month increase of 1.2%, but we're still running a little bit of a deficit of a little over 15% when we look at it year over year. And now looking at monthly sales, we're looking at an increase of nearly 4% when we're looking at it month over month. However, the year-over-year comparison is down by almost 4% as well. So they almost kind of cancel each other out. Jumping on over to new inventory, we're looking at, a decrease of 4.5% when we look at it month over month. And we're looking at a year-over-year decrease of 6.4%. Now, one of our favorites is looking at the average day on market. This has been ticking up slowly. It looks like about a day per month. Last month, it naturally was at 29 days, average days on market. Now we're up to 30. We do expect this to tick up as well, and we'll go into that a little bit deeper later. Now, we don't typically include new list prices, but because we saw a huge uptick for month over month, we thought it'd be pretty important to paint a proper picture here. So when we look at new list prices for total inventory, they're up by 18.3% for year over year, while the year over year median is up by almost 27%. However, this is a little bit misleading, and we're going to go into that a little bit more into the next slide to give you a good juxtaposition. So even though we see a massive uptick in what the average sales price is, the average list price, the true story of the average sales price is a little bit more telling. So when you look at it, where the price is up by nearly 20% for year over year, and the year over year median is up by a little over 24.5%. If you actually look at it month over month, this reflects because the prior month was actually 490, whereas this month, or for the month of September, was at 492. So even though a lot of these properties are listing at that price, what they're actually getting is significantly lower. And this is actually being reflected in the market as well. Just to kind of bring you up to speed, pretty much what we at the K Grant Group are seeing is that either they're very nice properties that are overpriced or are listing much, much higher than what we think the actual value is. And some people are still paying for it, but we are seeing that trend start to slow down as reflected by the non-logarithmic increase of the actual sales price. Whereas the other end of the spectrum, even though we're seeing a significant increase in inventory, you're actually seeing a lot of garbage homes or less than desirable homes being overpriced and not moving off the market as well. Now, when we actually look at active listings, and this is more current numbers since we're working with September's for the stat report, the actual active listings that we see as of October 29th of 2021 is 7,849, which actually represents a little over an 8% available inventory increase from when we did our last video about the same time last month. All right, and that's it for our September-October update. Now, what do we expect to keep on happening? We do expect available inventory to keep on creeping up, probably around the 5 to 8% month-over-month mark, because we're also hitting extremes on each side, where you have very nice properties that are fairly overpriced, and you have undesirable properties that are fairly overpriced. More than likely, we're going to see a significant market correction. Is this going to cause home prices to nosedive? No, not at all. But because we're seeing a very, very slow uptick in average sales price, more than likely what we're going to do is what's going to happen is that we're going to see more inventory come on the market, and we're going to cruise right on into the evening of the market, where you're not going to see these dramatic increases month over month or year over year. So once again, still absolutely great time to sell. And also, if you are looking to buy, please give us a call, and we will see you around the same time next month.